Now, millions of Ukrainians have left their war-torn country to escape the Russian invasion.
Yeah, tonight News 3's Jeff Gillen introduces you to a couple that found safety here in southern Nevada with a message of hope for a better tomorrow. It's a story that you will only see on 3.
Hello, everybody from Henderson. The war in Ukraine is thousands of miles away from here, until it isn't. Meet the Lozyks. That's Dad on the right, Mom in the middle, and their daughter Julia on the left. Julia's parents have just finished a journey out of Ukraine to the safety of southern Nevada. They're staying in Henderson with their daughter. She is our translator.
They just came last Monday.
The dad, Alexander, and the mother, Tatiana, sit in comfort, a far cry of what has become of their home city of Kharkiv in northeastern Ukraine.
The area where I grew up, where they live, is the closest to the border, and that name is Saltivka, and it gets bombed basically the most as it is the closest to the border.
I asked them if their home is still standing.
Basically, they don't know exactly, since they have no visual access to that. A couple of neighbors who stayed in a building actually called them and said there are no windows left and maybe no doors.
The parents' journey took them to western Ukraine, then Poland, then Germany, and finally here. They have family behind in Ukraine.
Mama.
Her husband's mother is 87, a survivor of World War II and recently of COVID. Do you know how your family is?
Знаете ли, как они, что с ними? Все нормально. They're okay, they're staying in the shelter.
Julia's mother is a doctor. Her father drove trains. They plan to return home as soon as the fighting ends.
They're basically officially retired, but they think they will have to go to work just so they can rebuild the country, rebuild the economy, rebuild and help other people too.
The war is now in its third month. Russia's vaunted army has stumbled. Ukraine's untested army has surged. A major assault looms by Russia in Ukraine's east. How will it end, I asked Mr. and Mrs. Lozyk.
We can push them not just to the border, but maybe a little further, just to push Russia away and to protect not just Ukraine but Europe and the rest of the world from this craziness and madness.
Finally, I ask, what do they want to tell America?
They want you to know, and all Americans to know, that Ukraine is a proud and great nation, but we couldn't do it without you, without America and without Americans, and thank for all your support.
Well, if you know someone who works in the hospitality industry, and you probably do in this town, you should give them a hug. This is National Travel and Tourism Week, and of course that means more here in Las Vegas than just about any other city in the world, and that's why tourism leaders decided to do something a little special today and surprise a few hundred of our visitors as they'll welcome the fabulous Las Vegas sign.
News 3's Steve Wolford joins us live there with more.
Well, that's right. During the pandemic, the decreased travel had a $600 billion impact on the U.S. economy, and no city in the U.S. felt it more than Las Vegas. So since you could call Las Vegas the poster city for National Travel and Tourism Week, the LVCVA wanted visitors to know that we are very glad they're back.
3 ball caps and T-shirts.
Excited to have you here.
And photo ops with showgirls in front of the Welcome to Fabulous Las Vegas sign. The Las Vegas Convention and Visitors Authority's way of thanking visitors for returning in numbers just shy of pre-pandemic levels. But it's about more than that.
It's also a really great time to say thanks to the 260,000 plus frontline hospitality workers.
And let's face it, Las Vegas is on a roll. Last week alone, 3 big conventions, including NAB, and a few 100,000 more visitors for the NFL Draft.
Thanks for opening up, Vegas. We needed you badly.
And there's a lot of pent-up demand from these visitors from New York.
Last time I was here was 20 years ago, but it was a blast. It felt even better to be back. It was so alive.
And this dad from Turkey who wanted his kids to see Las Vegas in person after they watched Ocean's 11.
More than 15 hours from Turkey, but it works, I think. Because it's another world. I want my children to see this kind of world also.
So with leisure visitors back in droves, including 3.3 million tourists in March, the LVCVA is now working to fully restore international visitation.
We have full nonstop direct service from 6 different countries. We're starting to see the return. We've reopened 4 international offices to help market and sell Las Vegas. So we have a presence in Mexico, in Canada, the UK, and Germany.
When we were out here earlier, it seemed like about half the people out here by the Las Vegas sign were international travelers. Chile, Colombia, Mexico, the UK, Germany, and of course that family from Turkey. And international tourism will get a big boost next year when Formula One racing comes to Las Vegas, very popular overseas. And of course the year after that, we got the Super Bowl.
Dry, hot, and windy. It's the weather trifecta that ushers in a very dangerous fire season here in southern Nevada.
Today, wildland firefighters, in fact, are reminding visitors to be careful on public lands, including at one of the valley's most popular parks. News 3's Denise Roche is live at Clark County Wetlands Park. And Denise, that area is prone to fire.
Yeah, LaToya, Wetlands Park burns every single year without fail. In fact, last year alone, there were 9 fires in this area. And that leads to a loss of habitat for wildlife. In fact, if you check right over here, the danger remains high as we move into summer.
This is a beaver skull. We found this after the fire that we had in December.
Elizabeth Bickmore knows exactly what's at stake when fire spreads through the Clark County wetlands.
And so this is the impact. When we have these fires out here, the fires move faster than the animals can run.
The 2,900-acre park, home to thousands of animals and birds attracted by the water and thick vegetation, a ribbon of green surrounding the Mojave Desert that is also highly susceptible to fire.
Every day of the year is a potential fire out here if somebody lights a grill, puts out a cigarette or anything like that. So fire can happen any time of the year.
Which is why wildland firefighters are here today, gearing up for summer.
On the top of the truck, behind all the tarps, we have more hoses in case we have to progress the hose.
Reminding visitors to be careful as they enjoy our public parks and open spaces. Kelsey Griffey with the Bureau of Land Management.
It's all about education because a majority of wildfires are human caused, especially in Vegas. Like we're close to like 80% down here.
Including this fire at Clark County Wetlands Park last winter. Less than 10 acres burned, but it was dangerously close to the visitor center. Inside, plans were discussed about evacuating a handful of reptiles and even a tarantula that were on display. Fortunately, fire crews stopped the spread, but the damage was done.
And because the fire happened right there, we had smoke damage in the building, and we actually had to close the building for a month.
And while some of the area has grown back, in other spots, scars remain. Visitor Mallory Thompson says it's an area that needs protecting.
I actually took a lot of pictures so I can prove to people that we're not just casinos.
The fire danger high at the wetlands and beyond.
And then when you're outside of this area, the Mojave is not fire adapted. So when we have a fire out on the Mojave, that's devastating. Those Joshua trees, they don't come back right away.
Yeah, and for information on fire restrictions throughout Nevada, what is or is not allowed, we have set up a link. Just go to news3lv.com.
Hi everybody, I'm Reed Cowan from News 3 Las Vegas. We want to thank you for checking out our YouTube channel. Remember, you can always see more of our videos by clicking on the video links. And also don't forget to click that subscribe button so that you don't miss out on any of our YouTube updates. Thanks for watching.